Let's talk about customizable card games. When you think of trading card games, what comes to your mind? Probably kids on the playground, innocent, nerdy teens trading holographic, I don't even know what that word is. Charizard? Did you make that up? For a stack of D&D books and a 10-second look at Stacy's jugs, because Stacy really wanted that Charizard. Girls don't play this game. Who are you talking about? Well, it seems like a harmless memory from the 90s, but what if I told you, in this case, what if Charles tells me, that this harmless hobby has escalated into a world with multi-million-dollar prize pools, official hygiene policies for tournaments? Oh my God, so it is just like D&D players?
No, I think it's way worse.
With the hygiene problems?
I think it's worse.
Because we had some folks in our group that were just abhorrent to be around as far as personal hygiene goes. And I'm not going to say who they are because Charles knows exactly who they were. And an obsessed culture that can turn deadly. Really? Oh my goodness. Today, we're going to deal out the bizarre and often bleak truth behind collectible trading card games. Let's start with, what the hell are they?
I hate this channel.
No! So a trading card game, a TCG, or a collectible card game, it's a strategy game. It combines building a deck of cards with the features of trading, like baseball cards. Players build their custom deck from their personal collection of cards, and they're often themed around something, either a fantasy theme, or a science fiction theme, or a Dungeons and Dragons, something like that. And the modern TCG was invented in '93 with the release of Magic the Gathering by Wizards of the Coast. I remember when WotC was new, and we thought it was going to destroy tabletop gaming.
I remember that.
And it pretty much did.
In a way.
Because nobody played D&D anymore. It was all Magic the Gathering. A core feature of the game is a method of card acquisition, because cards are primarily sold in semi-randomized booster packs, which creates different levels of rarity. So some cards are very common. Others are exceptionally rare, and therefore extremely valuable, like for real money. The three most dominant are, again, Magic the Gathering, the Pokémon game. Oh boy, I bet there are some dorks playing that shit. Released in '96, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Boy, just when I was making fun of dorks, you throw Yu-Gi-Oh! At me. The scale of production is immense. Magic the Gathering has produced over, is this correct? 20 billion cards? 20 billion with a B. 20 billion cards since its inception. My God, what a moneymaker. In 2009, the Guinness Book recognized Yu-Gi-Oh! As the top-selling card game in history with 22 billion cards sold worldwide. We are in the wrong business, dude. In July of 21, oh boy, Logan Paul paid $5.2 million for a single Pikachu Illustrator card. Wasn't it the one he bought it was $5 million and it turned out it was a counterfeit? I think it was a counterfeit. I really hope it was, because I don't like Logan Paul, much like everybody else on Earth. And now there are tournaments and professional competitions. Well, that I can imagine. The hobby has now evolved into a professional competitive scene with official tournaments held in like 70 countries. So these massive events, they feature professional players competing for pretty substantial cash prizes and some pretty prestigious titles. The 2024 Magic the Gathering World Championship featured a prize pool of $1 million for playing Magic. The winner receives a first place prize of $100K. That's good money. Pokémon World Championship, oh, now we're talking, offered a combined pool of $2 million. In contrast, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series doesn't award cash prizes. Instead, winners receive merchandise like a Nintendo Switch or an ultra-rare prize card that's not available to the public. That sounds lame. Sounds lame. Your competitors are often millions and you get a free t-shirt? These Yu-Gi-Oh! Prize cards command enormous prices on the secondary market. The prize card Dark End Dragon, more like Dork End Dragon, is valued between $3,000 and $4,000. An older prize card, Crush Card Virus, is considered one of the most valuable, with an estimated price of at least $25,000. Some sales have reportedly been for 3 times that amount. What dork that plays this game has that kind of money? Does Jeff Bezos play Pokemon?
I mean, it's not the same crowd that would buy like a baseball card, right?
Yeah, that's true. Just because if you're collecting baseball cards, you're not a dork. You're normal.
Debatable, but...
Well, all right, maybe you are, but normal, regular people with real jobs collect baseball cards. My accountant, my financial planner, has a nice baseball card collection. Somebody with a good Yu-Gi-Oh! Collection is a basement-dwelling troll, right? Am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm generalizing and stereotyping. I'm sorry. Okay. The collection frenzy has led to some extreme customer behavior. This is going to be good. The high value and collectability of these cards have created a collecting frenzy, leading to extreme consumer behavior and market disruption. The intense demand is fueled by, I knew it, scalpers. Sons of bitches. It's not just kids that want to play the game, is it? Individuals who purchase entire inventory of cards from retail stores with the sole purpose of jacking up the price and reselling them online. I hate that shit.
This is why you can't have nice things.
You can't afford anything. Scalpers have been documented employing tactics such as using bots, of course, to bypass online purchasing queues, taking out loans to fund their acquisitions, I bet that blows up in their face, and recruiting family members to circumvent store purchase limits. So it's the same way as when they were hoarding PS5s.
Oh, yeah.
Some asshole would jump online, buy the entire stock at Best Buy,
Yeah.
and then sell them on eBay for 3 times the amount. This behavior has forced retailers to implement some new security measures, yeah, I'm sure. Many stores now keep the trading cards behind locked glass cabinets or at the customer service desk to prevent mass theft and buyouts. Actually, these days they do that with baby formula too. Have you noticed that?
I have not, no.
Baby formula is locked up behind the cabinets. It used to be like cigarettes and tobacco products. Now baby formula, because that's how desperate people are. Reports of individuals being assaulted in the store and in parking lots forced retailers to take drastic actions. In May 14th, 2021, Target officially announced it would temporarily suspend all in-store sales of Pokémon and sports trading cards. You know, if it ever came down to that, I think maybe Logan Paul is the only Pokémon collector on Earth whose ass I couldn't kick in like 30 seconds. In its official statement, Target cited an abundance of caution and concern for the safety of our guests and our team as the reason for the suspension. Around the same time, signs began appearing in Walmart across the country stating that trading cards had been removed from the sales floor due to inappropriate customer behavior and increased demand. What do you have to do at a Walmart for them to say we have to put a stop to this customer behavior? Does your average Walmart shopper even know what Yu-Gi-Oh is? This retail response, which was intended to mitigate the risk, inadvertently funneled all consumers, including children and casual players, away from MSRP products and directly into the inflated secondary market. God damn it. Controlled by the very scalpers who caused the initial problem in the first place. That's fantastic. Police departments are now frequently involved in crimes directly related to trading cards. The cops, great. On July 5th, 2025, police in Vallejo, California, responded to a robbery where a suspect met victims for an online marketplace sale. The suspect pepper sprayed one of the victims and attempted to flee on an electric scooter with $2,600 worth of Pokemon cards. You know, as an aside, Charles and I have been doing this for a long time. We've always used the straight man, funny man routine because it's a classic comedy trope. Abbott and Costello, Laurel and Hardy, Dean Martin and Sammy Davis. And I think sometimes he does stuff like this as payback for being the butt of all those jokes for 30 years. I'm still not convinced this is a giant scam. Luckily, the victims were able to recover their cards. All right, that's good news, I'm relieved. And the suspect was arrested the next day after being involved in an unrelated traffic collision. Hopefully, on his scooter. I was going to say, I hope somebody ran him over. A widely reported phenomenon within the TCG community is a significant, pervasive issue with personal hygiene at tournaments and local game stores. Well, that I can believe. Players frequently describe overwhelming body odor, the scent of unwashed clothes, and poor dental hygiene among fellow competitors. The smell is so common, it is often referred to as gamer smell or gamer funk. What is going on in the world?
Like the Trek conventions, were they stinky?
The short answer is yes, but they're a very, very tiny minority. Like, if there's 10,000 people at a Star Trek convention, 5 or 6 of them will smell. Maybe more than 5 or 6. Maybe 5 or 6% of them will smell. The experience is not isolated to a single game. I didn't think it would be. Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! All report similar issues. Multiple individuals have reported that the smell at events can be so nauseating it makes them physically ill and discourages them from participating in the community. Do you want to participate in that community? I'm leaving. Let's go to the movies next door. Some competitive players have even suggested that poor hygiene is used, as a deliberate tactic to distract and discomfort opponents, making them more likely to make mistakes during a match. Wouldn't that translate to like poker players? Like if you're watching Poker All-Stars and one of them absolutely reeks, and one of the players is like, I got 2 aces, but this guy freaking stinks, I'm out. This story comes directly from a tournament organizer who was running a local event in 2023. A player arrived late for a scheduled match, rushing into the venue. As the player walked past the judge's table, the organizers noticed something was horribly wrong. I'm afraid to click forward. The organizer... God damn you, Charles. The organizer saw brown stains and streaks covering the entire back of the player's shorts and running down the back of his legs. You swear to God you're not making this up.
I'm not making it up, I swear.
The organizers described it as looking like the man had an accident and then sat in it. Let me tell you something. I haven't crapped myself in 2 years. I'm not about to ruin it now. To avoid a major scene, the organizer pulled the player aside, away from the other competitors. He quietly but firmly told the player that he could not participate in the tournament until he went to the restroom and cleaned himself properly. Instead of being apologetic or embarrassed, the player became angry and defensive. He began to argue loudly, insisted that he needed to play his match right now, and that the TO was unfairly targeting him. Hey, sir, if I could just bother you for a moment, I'm sorry. I don't think you're going to be able to play in this tournament with pants full of feces. If you could go into the restroom and clear out the excrement from your pants, we'd be happy to have you sit at this table. You sons of bitches! The argument drew the attention of the entire store, hard to believe, as the player loudly denied the obvious and demanded to be allowed to sit down for his match. Maybe I'll just stand. The organizer had to stay firm, explaining that it was a health and safety issue for every other person in the room. Ultimately, the player was forced to forfeit his match and was told not to return to the store until his personal hygiene was no longer a biohazard. Holy cow. There's more! Oh my God, there's more! On February 23, 2020, at DreamHack Anaheim Magic the Gathering Professional Tournament, during a high-stakes match with money and professional standings on the line, a player named Alan Wu experienced what he later publicly themed a uncontrolled bowel movement. Ah boy, instead of trying to hide the incident, Wu himself posted about it on his personal Twitter account after the match, wanting to publicly praise the event staff for how they handled it. Oh my God, how did they handle it? According to Wu's own post, the event staff reacted with extreme efficiency. They reportedly extended a commercial break for the tournament's live stream to give him time. During this impromptu break, the staff discreetly provided him with wet wipes and a new pair of pants. After composing himself and changing, Wu returned to the table to finish the game. He went on to win that very match, securing his place in the tournament's top 8. When I think of John Wu shitting himself and winning that tournament, the first thing that comes to mind is that guy is a winner. The incident has since become legendary within the TCG community, often cited as the ultimate, almost mythical example of a player's unwavering focus and victory, no matter the personal cost or physical consequence. In response to constant complaints, local game stores have been forced to implement their own formal rules regarding patron hygiene. I can't believe this is a real thing. I can't believe this is a real thing. Every filthy son of a bitch plays Magic the Gathering? I demand a psychologist do an actual investigative study on this. I demand to know the truth. Is this just attracting filthy sick people, or does the game turn you into a filthy sick person that shits himself and doesn't care? Is it chicken or the egg? I mean, dorks have always not exactly been clean, I guess. But this is beyond D&D. We've never seen stuff like this. Store policies posted online and in person now explicitly state that patrons must maintain proper hygiene, and that staff reserve the right to ask anyone causing a hygienic disturbance to leave the premises. So one of the biggest rules is don't shit yourself. No shirt, no shoes, no service. Don't shit yourself. That seems like one of those rules that you don't need to post. People should just know this. Some stores have posted signs encouraging cleanliness and have even begun, oh boy, stocking deodorant and other hygiene products in their restrooms for public use. The problem became so widespread that the corporate owners of the games were compelled to intervene at an official level. Holy cow. In April 2019, Konami, the publisher of Yu-Gi-Oh!, updated its official tournament policy to include a specific hygiene clause. Oh my God, like the Japanese don't make fun of us enough. The official Yu-Gi-Oh! Rule states, if you or your clothing is excessively dirty or bad smelling, you can be penalized. Penalties can be issued by a judge and may include a game loss or DQ from the tournament. The Pokémon Company followed suit, codifying a similar policy in its official Play Pokémon tournament rules and regulations. The official Pokémon rule states, if your hygiene is not conducive to a tournament setting for participants of all ages, it may be requested that you update your hygiene and continue at the event. Failure to comply with a staff request can result in removal from the venue. The combination of collecting the gambling-like mechanisms of opening randomized packs and the allure of high-value cards creates a potent mix for addiction, leading to financial and personal ruin. A man from Salt Lake City, Utah, oh no, not the Mormons, identified as Kyle, made a now viral video call to Dave Ramsey Financial Advice Show. He confessed to secretly accumulating $26,000 in credit card debt over a period of just 4 months. Kyle explained the debt was accrued from buying Pokemon cards and spending money on expensive online giveaways in an attempt to become a famous influencer in the streaming world whatnot. He hid this debt from his wife. He had a wife who was pregnant. He had sex with a girl with their 4th child. He had sex with a girl 4 times.
He's a Mormon.
Uh-oh, she had to. She didn't get to say no because they're Mormons. Upon discovering the financial infidelity, she filed for divorce, which she's not allowed to do. Kyle estimated he could only recoup about $5,000 by selling the cards, leaving him with a net loss of over $20K. In a post on the social media site Reddit, a woman detailed how her husband had accumulated nearly, oh my God, $100,000 in debt from buying Pokemon cards. Even after the family managed to pay off $70,000 of it, he secretly amassed another $27K in debt just a few months later.
Genius!
What's wrong with these people? It is like gambling, isn't it? I remember I had the same when I was playing Battlefield or Battlefront, the silly little custom mech warrior. I would spend everything I had. As soon as I accumulated $10, I'd go buy another pack. And you'd get there, and the bottoms were already open in the package because some son of a bitch opened it up to see if there was a rare card in there and put it back again. They used to piss me off. This woman stated he was in treatment for what they both recognized as a gambling addiction, okay, which began with the belief that he was investing in an online business that spiraled out of control. This is not an isolated pattern. Numerous online accounts detail marriages and long-term relationships collapsing due to one partner's obsession with TCGs, particularly Magic the Gathering. I can't imagine if you're so into Magic or Pokemon or any of these games, if you find a woman that is willing to stay with you for even a little bit, you gotta grab onto her and hold on like dear death, man. Common themes in these stories include spending all disposable income on cards, secretly diverting funds from joint savings accounts, and dedicating all free time to the hobby, which leads to the complete neglect of family and relationships. The issue is now common enough that divorce attorneys specialize in the division of TCG collections. You gotta be shitting me. These collections are legally considered marital assets and are subject to equitable distribution during divorce proceedings, just like a car or a house. She got the house and the kids and my Yu-Gi-Oh! Electro card. I'm gonna kill that bitch. The immense value concentrated in these stupid pieces of cardboard has attracted sophisticated, organized criminals. In a bizarre armed robbery in Osaka, Japan, 2 masked men brandishing knives broke into a card shop in the middle of the night, not expecting the 2 employees to still be at the store. Oh no. The employees were threatened with bodily harm, then tied up, sexually molested. No, they weren't molested. I figured because it's Japan. Seen on security footage sitting on the floor in the middle of the store, the thieves, who were apparently ignorant of which cards were valuable, proceeded to ask the captives for advice on which items they should steal. Following the employees' guidance, my God, the Japanese are so polite. The robbers made off with 70 grand worth of Pokemon cards in cash. You want the one with hologram Yu-Gi-Oh! Worth more? No, next one. This one, 50,000. So sorry, thank you. The next story begins at what should have been a routine local Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament in Marshfield, Missouri, July 9th, 2024. Missouri, oh, it's in the heartland. A player named Haven Buckhart, what a stupid fake name, was accused by his opponents of slow playing. This is a well-known form of cheating where a player deliberately wastes time to manipulate the clock and force the game into a draw, avoiding a loss. When the judge ruled against him, Buckhart became enraged. He stood up and threatened to physically assault his opponent. The situation then escalated further. Buckhart stormed over to the store owner, an ex-military veteran named Jason, and aggressively demanded he be given his prize back, a single booster pack of cards worth a few dollars. Oh boy. When the owner refused, Buckhart shoved him. Shouldn't have The ex-military owner responded instantly, slamming Buckhart to the floor, yeah, and physically detaining him until the Marshfield Police Department arrived. Once he was in police custody, you know this poor guy had just been, for years, building up frustration, going to this job every day, dealing with these dorks every day, just wishing one of them would get out of line just once so he could take all his frustration out on him. Once he was in police custody, the story takes another bizarre holy cow. Buckhart began to claim he was having a medical emergency and was overdosing. He reportedly told police he had taken too much gamer, a slang term for cocaine. Sure enough, oh boy, police discovered 4 grams of cocaine tucked inside his wallet. As a final detail to the scene, police also found another individual waiting in Buckhart's car, a person who was discovered to have active warrants out for their own arrest. I'll just wait in the car. Hey, I'm looking through the window. Did he just get body slammed by the owner? The next story, at a GameStop in Colma, California, oh no. A line had formed outside the store for the release of new Pokémon cards. According to San Mateo County District Attorney's Office, a man named Miguel Flores was first in line. When Flores allowed several of his family members, along with another man, Isaiah Callies, to cut in line with him, this caused many people to become outraged. Understandably. One unidentified man got into an altercation with the 2 line cutters that quickly escalated into a physical fight. Prosecutors state that Flores struck the unidentified victim in the back of the head with a glass mason jar, which was reportedly filled with cannabis, causing the jar to shatter. All right, I'm going to call bullshit here. No stoner, for one, is going to swing a jar or take a swing at anyone, and they're sure as hell not going to do it with their stash. To make matters worse, Isaiah, the line cutter's friend, then grabbed a shard of the broken jar and began to stab the victim repeatedly. The 2 men fled the scene in separate vehicles, but not before the victim managed to take photos of their cars and license plates. Police later located and arrested both men, noting they both had blood on their hands at the time of the arrest. Well, you did let 2 people cut in line in front of them. Why couldn't they just kick their ass and be done with it?
Do you ever get pissed off at a line cutter?
Sometimes. Usually, I just make a face at them. Who's gonna talk to this fucking monkey mug?
You ever actually shoved a line cutter?
No, I usually make a wisecrack. The one that usually works really well is, I must be fucking invisible! And that gets the message across. And then, on April 27th, 2022, sheriff deputies in Kissimmee, Florida, it's gonna be great in Florida, were conducting surveillance on a vehicle in a Target parking lot. They observed 2 men exit the car, enter the store, and allegedly shoplift Pokemon cards and a pizza. As the men returned to their car, deputies attempted what they described as a takedown. An officer-involved shooting ensued. One of the men in the car, 21-year-old Jaden Baez, was shot and killed by cops. Holy shit. 2 others were hospitalized with injuries. Target later confirmed they did not wish to press charges for the petty theft. Well, depending on the pizza, it might be worth the gunfight. I always knew that this was a stupid habit. I had no idea about the filth, and that such dorks could resort to such insane measures. Like fighting and guns, that's not nerd dork territory, right? You know, that's the thing. Once it became valuable, once it became a money-making thing, it brought in all kinds of riffraff, and not just players anymore.
I like the idea of using your own feces as an actual, tactic to win a match.
I'm not sure it has to be necessarily feces. Like every time Bill and I would go to a Star Trek convention, we didn't want to pay for the expensive seats up front. So we would buy the cheapest seats as far front as we could. So the general admission area, but as far forward as we could get. And we'd get to the convention super early, and to reserve our seats, we would lay a pair of Bill's pants across 2 chairs. Nobody's gonna touch those seats. And those seats were reserved all day. We could go out into the convention, come back hours later, the pants are still sitting there, because nobody's gonna touch a pair of stray pants at a Star Trek convention. So, you can use it as a bioweapon. Holy cow, I am speechless. I don't know what to say about this. Do you still play these card games?
I never.
Okay.
I know.
I think Amazing Larry tried to teach me Magic the Gathering once. And I was like, this is stupid, man. I don't. All right, well, if you're a fan of these games, chime in. Tell us what you think of this nonsense. Click subscribe, share, like, all that stuff. I want nothing to do with it. But I will say, I bet it's the scalpers and the scammers causing all the trouble, not the actual dorks that play this shit.